I'd like to just quickly introduce myself and also introduce Andrew, who's joining me from our partner Mesh Systems. So again, I'm Avneet. I'm a senior program manager within the Azure IoT team at Microsoft. And within the IoT team, I lead our product engineering efforts involving all things retail. And really one of the best things, and Chris highlighted this, is about my role is that I get to spend a lot of the time just working with our partners, working with our retail customers, and helping them build retail, innovative sort of retail IoT solutions on top of our platform. And what they tell me and what I'm seeing today is that we're at an inflection point unlike any other that they have seen in their businesses. We all know the challenges within retail are real and more so now than in the past, but the opportunities are also endless. And today I kind of want to talk to you a little bit about what are we doing here at Microsoft and how are we there with you on unlocking these opportunities and helping you accelerate your drive to market for some of these solutions as well. So before I jump in, what I'll do is I'll turn off my video cam so that you have more real estate for the content that I'll show, and also we are efficiently using our bandwidth. All right. So to kick things off, like what I'll do is I'll briefly highlight what Shanti talked about a little bit earlier today in the day, just highlighting our role, our position in retail. I'll then deep dive into some of the critical IoT, again, IoT concepts and the role IoT plays in general within the retail industry. I'll also talk about some of the options that we've put together to help the industry accelerate the development of their IoT solutions with Azure, because it's all about getting you to market with your solutions that you want to take to market. And then during our session today, the most interesting part is going to be, again, I want to invite Andrew Cahoot from Mesh Systems up on this virtual stage to also talk about some of the work that they have been doing and the innovative solutions they have been building as one of our key partners and on top of our platform. And then lastly, I'll leave with a few stories of innovation, just like Mesh Systems, that are, again, largely and squarely, again, are within the IoT in retail space that we've had an opportunity to enable, and also share some resources that you can view right after this session to accelerate, again, on your journey on building IoT solutions with us. Now, as a retailer, you understand, again, the complexities associated with the need for transformational change. And there's a lot of this slide, so I want to unpack a few key areas, and I'm sure Shanti did a great job at that earlier this morning, but I want to quickly highlight, again, the role that IoT plays. As we all know, retailers today are playing offense and defense every single day, right? Offense and innovation, so asking questions like, how do I meet the ever-changing needs of my customers? How do I reimagine my physical operations, my physical store presence? How do I reinvent my business model to like accelerate to that new normal? Is there one thing, if there's one thing that is to be learned here following COVID-19, it's that agility is the name of the game, right? Agility is key for retailers to continue to adapt to the new environments. And all the way from, again, from search to interaction, from payment transaction and pickup and delivery options that Ron mentioned earlier. These are, again, the bandwidths for omnichannel that have ripped off, and we've seen an explosion in these use cases during the COVID-19 sort of timeframe. At the same time, you're also playing defense in a lot of areas, right? Like unlocking these data insights that Chris highlighted and eliminating silos within the organizations to ensure that your stores are safe, they're running efficiently, as well as the health and safety of your employees is paramount, has been top of mind for a variety of different retailers. Shanti mentioned this, and really just when we thought we knew everything about the retail landscape really well, we were struck by the pandemic. And although the pandemic has had a real impact to all retailers, it has also become clear that the businesses who have built a strong digital foundations are in a better position to weather this change. And we've seen that when COVID-19 brought, we've seen this again change is when COVID-19 brought a few years of digital investment in a few months time frame, right? And we're still seeing it now as there are more and more lockdowns in place. Retailers are having to do a better and better job to reach to their customers. It has also, again, resulted in a tremendous impact on our societies, and retailers have been adapting to this very, very aggressively. Now, as we progress in our discussions today, what you'll see is, again, a variety of scenarios that are highlighted here, how they're being enabled by our partners and by our customers who are leveraging our platform. And I'll quickly highlight, again, a few of them as we go through the talk track. Now, one thing that's clear is retailers, again, that have been laying that digital track that we mentioned and getting grips with their data have been those who've been the best positioned to succeed in this space. It starts again, it all starts with knowing your customers really, really well. So how do you use your data to know more, right? That customer behavior understanding is the understanding of what is retail all about, and how you use this data and how you use now the digital to take what you have always done very well and take it to sort of the next level. Now, the second big piece that is always top of mind is how do retailers empower their employees? 80% of, again, the retail employees are first-line workers, right? This came out recently in a Harvard Business Review. And so it's very critical for retailers to figure out how do you empower the people who work for you. And then it goes into, again, intelligent supply chain, right? The clock speed of retail is getting faster and faster. So delivering this intelligent supply chain and the idea that you can bring what has been the back office and the front office together as one seamless process and experience is going to be a requirement for the retailers. And then when you know, again, all about your customers, when you can empower your employees, and when you can deliver an intelligent supply chain, you can start to reimagine retail, right? I'm sure none of us think that the job you're doing today in retail is going to be the same job that you do for 4 years, 4 to 5 years from now. Likely not even in 4 or 5 months, right? From now, you will see change as we've been seeing during all of 2020. So again, the industry is going under a massive transformation, and we're working hand in hand with retailers across the globe, like dimensions of Starbucks, Walgreens, that Andrew mentioned, Kroger, and Walmart, to really completely reimagine parts of their business to unlock future growth through innovation and technology. So now let's take a deeper look at, again, the role that IoT plays in enabling that digital transformation. A growing need, again, and to increase our customer loyalty and deliver the best in-store experience is currently driving the adoption of IoT in the retail sector. We recently actually looked at a study from Global Market Insights, and we saw that IoT in the retail market is predicted to reach over $30 billion by 2024. And this study is actually, I would consider it a little stale already because it's 6 to 8 months old when COVID-19 was just hitting again us really, really hard. So now we've seen the number even grow by a more aggressive timeline. And retailers are, again, particularly focused on IoT-enabled insights into their customers to really help them and really help deliver a better overall journey within the stores or in their e-commerce stores. It's, again, also important to recognize that IoT is not just within stores, right? The IoT and opportunities in retail span across industries. It extends out to the manufacturing of the goods that you're selling within the store, to the distribution of those products by a global supply chain, to also ensuring the empowerment of, again, the retail staff, as we talked about, within the stores, within your fulfillment centers, within your warehouses. With this in mind, let's take a deeper look at the opportunity landscape. So when you look at the impact of IoT or the application of IoT within retail, there's a variety of different scenarios that are top of mind for our retailers. It all starts from that shopper insight aspect from within the store. How do they understand their customers? How do they, again, lay out their store in the most efficient way to get the customers to the product they need? How do they improve availability on shelves within the store? A stat I'll share with you is we recently, again, surveyed a variety of different retailers, and we saw over 60 to 70% of the retailers during the holiday season can't accurately predict what's actually on their shelf or what's in their back house. Even though there's these inventory systems in place, it's very hard to get an accurate estimate. And IoT has been helping them to get a more accurate planogram update or to get a more estimate, again, a better estimate on the product inventory levels within their store using AI vision, using, again, weight sensors, and using a variety of different sensors that are being deployed in their store. Checkout experience is also something that's been top of mind for retailers. We've seen this with, again, smaller cashierless stores formats from our competitors, but we've also seen this becoming more and more important in the COVID-19 world, where folks want to check out without having to interact with other individuals or without having to, again, touch a lot of the equipment that's within the store. So this has been, again, a key area of investment for our retailers. And again, there's a variety of others, but these are areas that have been getting adoption over the past few years, and now just starting to see a huge acceleration as retailers take IoT to market. Now that we've sort of a baseline understanding of the opportunity landscape, I want to take a brief look at, again, how we're enabling the development of these IoT solutions on Azure. But before we can talk about that, we also need to understand that there's a technology adoption, right, across the set of retailers that we're talking about. So I always like to start with this adoption lifecycle curve, where we talk a little bit about how our investments in IoT have evolved over the last several years. 5 to 6 years ago, when you thought about IoT solutions, they were really targeted at the early market, right? Folks who wanted the newest things, who could afford to again venture into the space with a large investment. However, as IoT has progressed along this adoption lifecycle, we found ourselves in that chasm that you see here, the gap between the early market and the mainstream market. And now, really, in order to capture the mainstream market and to enable a variety of these use cases that I just mentioned for that mainstream market, we recognize that there's an importance for, again, us to deploy complete IoT solutions, or to help build complete IoT solutions in a very convenient way, in a very cost-effective way. And we're doing that by building, again, a product portfolio within our Azure IoT teams that consists of, again, a number of very well-composed entry points that you see on here. You see the foundation of, again, this stack that includes our offerings for device support, coupled with an extensive sort of set of Azure platform services, and also a reference architecture that, again, our retailers, our partners, who are again the solution builders for these retailers, can leverage these, again, building blocks and put together IoT solutions. Moving up the stack, we also have preview for one of our recent announcements of a service called Azure Digital Twins. And this is a service that focuses on how do you model and interact with your physical environment, and also track the past and predict the future. Now, there at the top is actually our highest level entry point for solution building, and that's our fully managed IoT app platform, IoT Central, which I'll actually go into a little bit more detail as we progress along our discussion today. Now, crossing these different entry points for building IoT solutions, we also have our Azure IoT Center, Azure Security Center, sorry, for IoT, which is an Azure cloud-based offering that allows you to, again, to look at a more comprehensive device threat protection model for all your IoT solutions, because again, network security and data integrity and security for your IoT devices has been top of mind for our retailers that we talk to. Now, any IoT architecture, as we all know, can really easily be broken down into three things, right? It starts with all these things and devices that generate real-time data that you see here on the left, to insights that are gained by identifying patterns in that data. And then finally, the most meaningful thing is the actions that you take to optimize your operations to increase your efficiency based on those insights that you generated. So starting from the left side of this diagram, you can see things like, again, condition monitoring and optical sensors, some of which you can take advantage of using Azure Sphere. But again, many scenarios here will leverage our edge offerings to be able to enable how do you get the data from these sensors into the cloud. In the middle of the diagram, you can see two solution options. On the top one is, again, our managed service option. I called that out earlier, which is our IoT Central offering. That's built using, again, the same platform services that you see in option 2. However, it's completely managed and it's maintained by Microsoft. So we take that, we ensure that we're providing something scalable to our customers and our solution builders, so they don't have to build a unique, differentiated IoT backbone. They can just go provide differentiation on top of their solutions. And option 2 is, again, our platform services approach, where you can achieve a higher level of control by using the platform services as building blocks for some of your custom IoT solutions. Now, in retail, data interoperability is also very paramount, and our investment within retail data models can help you store that data in a secure and compliant way, so that you can develop your knowledge, again, of your retail data estate with our analytics tools that we've also built on top of that. And then on the far right, connecting your insights into your line of business applications, where these insights are actually being visualized and where these decisions are being made. Now, these applications can be built using third-party technology, but can also be built using our Microsoft, again, Power Platform, our Power BI platform, or the Dynamics platform, which you'll hear more from Francois later today, or leveraging, again, offerings that we have around Teams for Retail as well. And again, like I mentioned, you can always use a completely custom platform to build your line of business application that you're building here. I want to also touch on, again, how you might go about finding the right solution for your business, right? We found that this decision is often influenced by various different dimensions that are seen here. It starts with, again, expertise, which is your level of proficiency in building these cloud solutions. control, which is what aspects of the solution do you really need to customize or do you want to customize? And then pricing, which is how important is it for you to fine tune the overall cost versus look at a price predictability model. So you know again what your ceiling is going to look like when you deploy these retail solutions to the retail environments that you own. Again, the strength of your answer to these three questions will generally sway the direction for your approach. Answers to the left of the middle will indicate that you want to go with a platform services approach because this this approach requires that greatest level of expertise, but also allows the highest degree of control and customization. Answers to the right of the middle is going to indicate that you want a more managed approach, like what we have with Azure IoT Central, because you may not wish to dedicate extensive resources to the system architecture, and you're willing to forego some of the control for more predictable pricing and for a faster speed to market for your retail solutions. So once you've made your decision on which approach is the most suitable for you, you'll find that we've tailored a series of offerings to help you jumpstart your IoT investments within retail. So let's take a brief look at how our partners and customers have been leveraging these to transform their businesses as well. So the very first thing I'll start with is, the Azure IoT Central platform that I mentioned. That's our managed offering that's built to assist our partners and our customers to cross that chasm that I talked about from, the early to the mainstream market opportunities. Its mission is to simplify the device connectivity and management so that the IoT data can be integrated at scale into business applications. To accelerate, the solution builders on their journey, what we've done is we've built a series of application templates within IoT Central, and these are for some of the use cases that I highlighted on the slide where the COVID is, the new CIO, right? We have built application templates around scenarios like in-store analytics, where you can monitor and manage the variety of different hardware that you have in your store, allowing you to get a better understanding of conditions within your environments. It also has templates for things like micro fulfillment center, and I'll actually talk about one of our partners that has leveraged that fulfillment center template to build an end-to-end solution that they're deploying at larger retailers. An app template is a tool that allows you to kickstart your solution development, and each of these templates come with a series of operator dashboards, device templates, and simulated devices, and a very rich set of documentation as well. So in-store analytics, is one such template that is being highlighted here. This is, a variety of our partners are using this to monitor conditions within their store. I mentioned the micro fulfillment one, so I want to briefly talk about this one because one of our close partner, Adbotics, has actually accelerated their solution using Azure IoT Central. So Adbotics is, a micro fulfillment and logistics company, and they're transforming the future of supply chain by leveraging robots to reduce the footprint of a digital warehouse. So you see that visual on the top right that's playing right now. What they're doing is, they're reducing the footprint of an overall digital warehouse by putting a storage and retrieval structure in there. The robots can run around and pick up different products based on what online orders are being placed or based on what front of the house orders are being placed within the store. They leverage IoT Central to capture a series of different signals from within their environment and monitor and manage the health of the infrastructure. The central sort of application platform also allows them to quickly and seamlessly onboard their devices without having them to invest in, an extensive set of resources into their IoT backbone. And so this, Adbotics solution has been great because this allows Adbotics to scale beyond a single retail environment. They can leverage that same framework they've built across a variety of different retailers that they work with. Now, to hear directly from our partners, I'd like to invite Andrew actually to join me and share with us a little bit about how mesh systems, just like Adbotics, is doing on their IoT journey and the current use of our platform to enable a series of innovative retail solutions.